Today I'd like to show you how to make a polymer clay seahorse using natural things like stones and shells. Captain's out there losing his bananas because his fishing rods like all kinds of everywhere. It's really bad weather here today at Fraser, Gowrie Island in Queensland. So I'm going to focus on craft. I've got an old magnet, some shells I found on the beach, an eye. See that? No? An eye? Yep. And some gems that we tumbled. And an idea. That's all you need in life.
Look at the fish.
Has he been eaten?
Eh?
Is he being eaten?
Man, well, little bite by shitty fish. Ah, all the wires are going all over the place.
I'll show you the process that I used to make this seahorse. However, if you're using natural things like shells, it is very much dependent on what shapes you have to already use. So I think that's what I found the most difficult about making this, was that I was trying to incorporate these three pieces, one being the belly that kind of looked like teeth. And I just, when I picked it up from the beach, I immediately saw the belly of a seahorse somehow. So here's me just trying to figure it out and cut bits off and reshape, and I'm just trying to get the basis of the shape. And I found that moving to a darker background was actually much easier because the white on white was very difficult for me to see how exactly it was looking. And so once I moved over to this table, I had a much better time. And then I just spent time using different tools, just putting some shapes and textures in there. This is where you can get really creative. So what I decided to do was use a little piece of quartz that we tumbled as the fin on the body, and I used that glass eye. And there's really no right or wrong when you're doing this. You can decorate your seahorse any way you like. And you can curl the tail, you can have little spikes coming off the back like I'm making here. It's really all up to you. I decided to add these little glass sea stars as decoration, as I've been carrying them around for a while now and I didn't have any plans for them. I think they really added to the design. And then I used a little eyelet hook to pop inside his head, because instead of doing a magnet like I originally thought, I've decided that he'll be a hanging decoration. And if you can see there in his tail, he's also curling around a little gemstone in there as well, which I think is really cute. All finished and ready for baking. I pop him onto a baking tray with some greaseproof paper and into the oven. I bake him for 30 minutes at 135 degrees Celsius. Here you can see my two shells, my two glass sea stars, my glass eye, and the two crystals. I've also added a string so that he can be hung. Happy crafting, everyone!